2016 began with a huge record-breaking January winter storm, dumping record snows across a dozen states from the north to the south. Blizzard conditions swept over millions of Americans, with more than 30 inches of snow recorded in 7 states. Costing up to $3 billion in some estimates, the storm sadly took 55 lives, 12 in Virginia alone.
We have significant damage.
February brought a terrible, unusual early-year tornado outbreak.
The house was pushed, and I know you can't see it right here, but part of their house is actually sitting in the bay.
On the 23rd and 24th, what became the second largest February outbreak on record spawned 61 confirmed tornadoes and left 7 people dead in its wake. And while March brought several large hail events, April's claim to bad fame came from apocalyptic hailstorms in Texas. The sizes and quantities of hail were frightening and devastating. Then summer saw more records breaking, the kind you don't want broken, flood records. In June, West Virginia got nearly 10 inches of rain in just 12 hours, causing flooding that tied the 7th worst in state history. July followed with Maryland's Ellicott City flood that laid waste to much of the city's historic district.
But when you have a 1,000-year flood, there's a just devastating amount of volume and velocity, and so these buildings just aren't ready for that, and I don't think any buildings probably are ready for that.
Then in August, Louisiana was inundated by the worst river flooding in state history. Upwards of 2.5 feet of rain fell in just a few days. And along the Amite River east of Baton Rouge, previous record levels were topped by nearly 5 feet as 80,000 houses went underwater.
Went got my boat today, rescued a few people, went got everybody's belongings out of the house as much as we could, and then we pretty much here now just ready to fight the water.
The year's hurricane season finally brought an end to the landfall drought, with Hermine being the first hurricane to make landfall in Florida in nearly 11 years. After striking the state as a Category 1 hurricane and killing 1 man there, Hermine exited the East Coast in North Carolina, then threatened the Northeast. Then Matthew became the first Category 5 hurricane in the Atlantic Basin since 2007.
We're seeing videos of storm surge coming into downtown St. Augustine. People that stayed behind are trapped and can't get out of the structure in which they're located. Waves are pounding the coastline, damaging wind gusts at the coast. That's just a taste of what's to come in Georgia and South Carolina.
During the storm's trek through the Caribbean, it was responsible for taking more than 1,600 lives by some estimates, most of those in Haiti, and is blamed for 49 lives lost in the United States, most of those from freshwater drowning. From coast to coast, 2016 was another bad year for wildfires, and as the year came to a close, the biggest and saddest news-making blaze was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee at the end of November. Started by 2 teenagers and driven by hurricane-force winds, this fire tore through the scenic Smoky Mountain area.
This is the largest fire in the last 100 years of the state of Tennessee.
Burning 18,000 acres, damaging or destroying more than 2,000 structures, and worst of all, taking 14 lives. And then finally, on the weather forecast improving front, we got 2 big year-end gifts from NOAA and NASA.
And liftoff of NOAA's GOES-R, America's most advanced weather eye in the sky.
The first was GOES-R, now in orbit is GOES-16, with an awesome array of new tools to give us near real-time super high-res imagery to see the Western Hemisphere's developing severe and tropical weather systems, and lots more too. And now we also have 8 little satellites flying in formation, like a year-round squadron of hurricane hunters. Cygnus will give us a brand new hurricane intensity forecasting tool. And now as we ring in the new year, it's always our wish that you stay weather aware, be prepared, and heed all warnings to be safer. For Weather Nation, I'm John Van Pelt.